This is the video game Elite Dangerous. This is one of my favorite video games of all time. This is the current vehicle that I am flying. And we're going to get into a game. So, I first played this game in the 1980s. It's a space exploration game. Primarily, it was designed for trading. However, there's also combat, there's mining, there's exploration, and there's other features in the game. The game was originally developed in the 1980s, and they did a Kickstarter campaign for the PC. And this is what the game looks like now. This is the vehicle. Um, so basically, you have your ship, which is this is the cockpit. You have a particular station. There's a variety of different stations. The universe is really big. It's basically the size of, I guess, a galaxy. It's the size of a galaxy, and there are many features, such as there's a galaxy map. You have a warp drive, jump drive. You have commodities that you can purchase and sell. You have equipment, modules for storage and for um, weaponry and things like that. You are going to start out with a base ship, and you have to earn credits primarily through trading. Uh, you pretty much have to start out trading because you have to buy the mining equipment, you have to buy the weaponry. For example, one of the things I do is I try to run away instead of fighting because you can't afford the weapons to compete against the other players that are out there. You're going to be playing against other players, you're going to be playing against AI. This is what the market looks like. You buy and you sell. Rare items are very profitable. You have to find where they are in the universe. And you have missions. Some of the missions you have to earn a reputation in order to participate in the mission. Some of them are available to everybody. Obviously, the more of a reputation you have with a faction, the more rewards you're going to have. Usually, the missions are to go to transport materials. It might be to do something unlawful, um, smuggling. Might be to transport a person, etc. And it automatically works you through the factions. So if you do a lot of missions for a certain faction, then you will be earning a reputation with them. Um, this is the way this is the map system. It's really interesting. You do have. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not the map system. To be honest, I don't know how to get back to the maps. Okay, so uh, you do have to be wary about combat because you will engage in combat against your will. And this is one of the lower tier ships that you can play with. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. This is one of the lower tier ships that you can play. Um, you'll be able to learn about combat. And I bought a trading ship. I'm running a trading ship. You can have more than one ship. There are a lot of rare items, for example, rare modules, rare ships. You have to locate them. You have to go to where the ship is in order to purchase it. And same with the modules. The game is very expansive. You will find some ports are popular. For example, if you go to a mining area, a minefield, and you're mining for materials, when you go to the nearest station in order to sell them, you're going to find a lot of players lined up in queue in order to sell what they've mined. Um, there are large ships in the game that you'll see battles between different ships, and you can go and participate in a battle, and you can pick a side. There are bounties. You can go after other players that have bounties on them. You can go after AI players that have bounties after them. So the game is has a lot of depth to it. It's a skill-based game. You have to learn to fly, which isn't that difficult. You have to learn to use your weapons. You've got energy weapons, projectile weapons. To refuel, you either purchase fuel or you refuel using by approaching a star, and it's a skill you have to learn. And the hyper jumps are also a skill that you use in order to jump properly. If you don't jump properly, you will land far from your target. No one's going to tell you how to play the game. You're pretty much on your own when you start the game out. Um, you can do multiple jumps. You can jump to 5 or 6 different star systems. Some star systems you're not allowed to enter without permission. You have to get a license or whatever it is. For example, if you want to go to planet Earth, you have to earn the right to go to planet Earth. You won't be allowed in. So the game has a lot of depth to it. There's different types of stations. You can land on planets. They have vehicles you can drive around on. There are alien spaceships, for example, Thargoids, and it's fun to play. Not difficult to make money, but it can be a little bit painful because you're going to sit there and say, I want to buy this new ship, and it's expensive sometimes. Oh, this is not a ship that I own. This is a ship that I could buy. There it is. So these are some of the ships. You can see that some of them are designed for combat. That looks like a combat aircraft. That's transport, obviously. And some of the ships are really big. And if you get a big ship, it's going to have a lot of modules, but it might be a little bit more difficult to take off and land. You look at the cost of these ships, it's going to take you a while to earn those credits. You don't get it immediately. And there's not a lot of ships. See how there's 12 ships at this particular port, and other ports have different ships? They usually have the base ships, like the Cobra or their Sidewinder. But some of the rare ships, you're going to have to locate them. It's going to be a little bit of work. So it's a pretty cool game. There is maintenance for your vehicle. They have some sort of engineer system. This is my ship right here. You have weapons. You have utility mounts. For example, scanners. You have modules, which could add. You have storage, and you can decide how you want to lay out your ship. You can decide if you want it to go faster or go greater distance or haul more material, carry more fuel, have a better jump drive. When you get a module, there's many levels that you can level up your modules. It's not just like you have one base module. And obviously it gives you more power. The same with the shields. You know, you can get more power if you pay for it and if you upgrade it and if you locate the modules that you want. So the game is pretty good. I had many hours enjoying it when I was younger. I'm not going to show you any in-air combat, and the reason why is because taking off, especially with a big ship, is a little bit complicated. And landing is complicated. There is an automatic docking system. But if you're an advanced player, you might want to not use the automated docking system because you need the space to haul more cargo. Okay, so the game is really good. You see over here it talks about your reputation and whether someone's friendly with you. And it shows you here someone wants to visit the cat's eye and collect data. It's a mission that you can take. The game is really good. I highly recommend it. It's worth the money. They do come up with upgrades on a regular basis. Every year or two, they will do a substantial gameplay upgrade. For example, the ability to walk around within the spaceport or the ability to drive around a planet. And there's a lot of different types of stations. There are stations that are agricultural. There are planets that are agricultural. You've got technological planets and technological stations. There's quite a bit of depth to the game, and there's a lot of room to add more depth to the game. I really enjoy this game. I had many hours of enjoyment playing it. It is an online game, and I do believe they have an offline version with the current. They've had it actually for many years. People asked for it. It was part of the Kickstarter. So you're going to really like playing the game. It is a little bit of a learning curve. I didn't have a problem because, like I said, I played it a lot in the 1980s on maybe a Commodore Amiga. Okay, I highly recommend this game. I have not played any other space combat games other than in the arcade, like the Star Wars game in the arcade. So I can't compare it. There are other games out there that are space related. These guys did an amazing job. I don't think it's a big company, it's a private company, which means that they primarily just make this game. If they make other games, this is where all their this is how they started their company when they did their Kickstarter. And it is the original authors, from what I understand, from the 1980s. Okay, really good game. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.